Go Dogs.
With 270 in stack from Ponte Vedra, Florida, welcome Mark Shula. With 179,000 in stack from Jacksonville, Florida, also Paul Chung. And rounding out this great group of 8 from St. Augustine, Florida, with 182,000 in stack, Dennis Bergeron. Guys, your dealers are going to be Kirk Shuey and Trey Hamill. They're going to be dealing the cards for you guys today. That's about it. Cards in the air, and best of luck.
Welcome back, guys. As I did just give that intro for the first of the 8 players, the final 8 players in our best bet $2,000 Haymaker tournament. We did miss the first 3 there. We do have Gregory Goder in the first seat with 478 in stack. You have Tamarovich Vladimir in the 2 seat and Paul Petraglia in the 3 seat.
So these guys are playing for $27,000. This was a bounty event, but they agreed during the final table to have their bounties back. And I think Greg had the most bounties with 8 bounties.
8?
Yeah, knocked out 8 players of the 66 entries.
Well, I mean, if you're a fan of math, each bounty is $500. He knocked out 8 people. He is free rolling to the max. That is $4K in just bounties alone, and he's going to be guaranteed about it. I think it's the minimum 8th place payout is $3,000.
3,000. Let's go ahead and put the payouts in the Twitch chat, and then we can see how much
Perfect.
the pay scale is.
And if anybody in the other corresponding chats wants any stats or any payouts, I'll definitely let you guys know. Just say the word.
All right, so again, first play, $27,125. Everybody's guaranteed $3,076. We got Dickie Malone from Macon, Georgia. Took second in our World Poker Tour televised event some years ago.
Not bad, not bad. He showed me a picture of him. I mean, it's a winning pose if I've ever seen one. And he was definitely excited. I love emotion in poker, you know?
Absolutely.
A lot of these players log a lot of hours and have seen a lot of things. And I guess we're going to see Dickie play it out here for his tournament life as Tamarovich does make the call with ace-king off.
A race here.
It is indeed a race, Dickie. Let's see if you can hold, buddy. To a flop we go.
Jacks are holding. Jacks are good for a double up.
That's a good flop, good turn, and good river. Dickie is going to double up. He is still on life support, but he does have 148,000 in stack. Well, actually, what are the blinds? I don't think he is on.
Blinds are 3,000, 5,000.
3,000, 5,000. Okay, so he's actually in a lot better of a place, or a lot better of a spot. And Tamarovich is going to take a crushing blow. He has 41,000 in stack remaining, so the roles have been reversed. Tamarovich is not going to be looking to get his chips in.
We also have a World Poker Tour champion in house, local Paul Petraglia.
The man's picture's in the back of the room.
That's right.
It's his face on it. But you also have a lot of good, accomplished players with tournament results. You know, they might not be champions of any WPT, WSOP, or any major tournaments, but they definitely have a long resume. I know Corey Major, he's made plenty of final tables. I believe this is his first final table that we've live streamed. So it's not like he's any stranger to making a final table. He's a tournament guy. He loves playing poker, and he's very good at poker. So shout out to Corey Major. Shout out to all his friends and family that are watching. It's a much-deserved final table. Best of luck, my friend.
Yeah, Corey has a total life earnings of $145,000. Yes. He actually took one of our tournaments down some years ago. You can find it here.
Yeah, so he's no stranger to winning tournaments and well, being in the spot that he is in right now. So he's going to be playing well. He's going to be looking to get his money in with the best hand, and he's going to be looking to enjoy some refreshments. Very nice. As soon as I say that, Paul is going to call a raise here from Dennis with ace-10 offsuit. And we're going to go heads up to a flop. Lots of low cards here to start.
Yeah, Corey Major, biggest cash was here in 2016 for the WPT Deep Stacks main event. Got second place for $74,000.
That's major. That's huge. And what's also big is that Paul sees that ace on the turn, so he's going to go ahead and pick up that overcard. And he's going to go ahead and value bet his ace. And Dennis, I don't think, found a king or a queen. So he's going to have to go ahead and fold.
free pulls for that straight draw?
What's that?
Did I give you 2 free pulls?
Go,
on
Corey.
that
Been a long way back to that final table, huh? Yes, it has. And he was due. I think I came by when he was playing in the tournament yesterday, and I was talking to one of his friends, you know, wishing him best of luck. So it looks like he did indeed follow that luck train all the way to the end of his route, and that's on the final table. So best of luck to all these accomplished players. Dickie Malone, the lone guy from Georgia. I'm a Georgia native myself, born and raised there. So shout out to Dickie. Hopefully he can stick around and try to take down that first place money.
11 Mark's hoodie there. Nobody cares. Work harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And that perfectly applies to poker or really any facet of life, you know? There's no sense in complaining because no one cares. Everybody has the same story. You just got to work harder. Greg here, the overwhelming chip leader, will make the call here with Queen Jack. He has 451,000 in stack. That's just crazy compared to the other stacks at the table. I think he has a 4-to-1 chip stack on the next highest stack at the table.
Pretty decent flop for ace 4. Dickie in the lead. Greg 2 overs. Open and straight draw. Can hit an ace or 4 or deuce. So if Dickie continues, gonna put him in a tough spot. He is gonna get kind of short. Remember, blinds are 3,000, 5,000. You can probably try to peel one more. It's still cheap. Greg might check behind.
Oh,
And
that's a
drills
check
the
card.
deuce.
I mean, it's a heart, so you don't necessarily love the situation, but you do find a card that improves your hand. And you know Greg could be continuing with a lot of his range and using his stack to apply pressure. So I think Dickie might know or might be inclined to think he has the best hand.
Greg wisely checks behind. King of clubs on the river.
I think he can go for some value. I think he can bet.
I think he can actually check call in this spot.
The hearts aren't really that scary. I mean, Greg could have a lot of different hands.
Yeah, Dickie can check call, I think.
Yeah, I have a straight. Like I want to bet a little bit, just a little something. What's that? 35, 40?
Chris, we had a total of 66 entries in this event. We had a whopping 236 for the jab, which was played on Friday.
that was a lot of people in that.
Yeah.
First place was what in that?
First place for that event was about, I want to say, 10,000.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's not bad at all.
We have the uppercut here playing right now.
There was 133 last time I checked on that.
Yeah.
It was like 23-16 myself. Small biggest.
We're also gearing towards the closer to the end of the WSOP mini event. 96 players left for day 6 or day 5?
Day 6.
Day 6.
Day 6. Our very own Hang Zhang is still in. He is, I want to say, 22nd in chips, but 22nd is amazing considering, one, how large of a field it is, and two, how many players are remaining.
Yeah.
So best of luck to Hang. My pick was Steven Chidwick. He is still in. He's still working towards that main event championship and taking down $8 million. So.
Yeah, my favorite is Chance Corneth. That dude's a crusher.
Yeah, he actually on Twitter the other day, him and Moneymaker kind of agreed in the point that when picking players for a feature table to, I guess, pick a little better, they were on that final table for, I think, 10 hours. You know, and Moneymaker said the lights, the cameras, all that, it's rough on the body. You can't get a break. But
yeah, I think he was asked to play the very next day too, so it's a little bit rough. I mean, they have 3 feature tables that they show. It's nice to kind of have a little more player. It's nice to have pros and big names in there too, but like change them out a little bit. You know,
exactly.
Some people want to play the main event, just be on the feature table.
Exactly.
You know, especially if you're not a pro.
He was like, don't just pull the big stacks and the notable players. And I want to say when you're on a table like that, you can't even really take a break.
And it's not really picked by random either. You're actually chosen to be on the table.
See? Yeah. No good there. I tend to agree with him on that. But let's see what's going on here. Not too much. A lot of trashy cards going in the muck. I don't imagine 10 minutes into the final table anybody's going to really want to step out of line or do anything too crazy. There is $27,000 up top, or 26 now, excuse me.
Raise it up.
Dickie going for the raise, the queen high.
Is this blind on blind action?
It's a small blind versus big blind.
It's going to get through. I think Dickie there would have, if, you know, this is a strong if, Mark wakes up with a hand there. I think Dickie shuts it down if he calls or raises. Like, hey, listen, you caught me.
He's gonna try.
And these guys are all friends. They all play with each other a lot, but you got to understand there's money on the line, you know? At this point, poker takes no prisoners. You know, you're my friend. Hey, I like you, but there's a lot of money up top, and I'm trying to win. So if you could politely step aside and let me take it down. So as mentioned, we do have it is the closing event of our November Knockout Series. It is the uppercut that is taking place in the back of the room. I think registration's still open for that. I think registration will be open for a little while longer.
Yeah, it's a $600 buy-in with $150 bounties for that one.
It's very good. The bounties are just so, they help. Like, it's so much. I like it. I definitely like it.
I would like to see Mark with a big 3-bet here, which he does. Is it going to be big enough to get Corey to fold?
How much did he make it?
Might. He made like 30,000, 37,000, which is a good sizing. I like that sizing. Corey can't play with ace deuce.
Nah.
Nor can Dickie.
Yeah, Corey there, you know, just wanted to open a hand. Hand was good enough, but plays a little differently in a 3-bet pot. Plays a little differently in a 3-bet situation with a player behind. So just can't step out of line. Just gotta reluctantly fold and find a better spot.
So nice squeeze from Mark and a profit 34K uncontested.
So he's gonna move a little north of 300,000, and he quietly does have a large stack there. So small stacks need to get it in. Big stacks need to avoid, well, large pot situations. There is still a lot of final table left, so you don't necessarily want to step out of line.
Hold on. Hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, hold 6. Raise to 12.
It's a catch. It's a catch. Okay, so it looks like the king-9 of diamonds for Dennis.
See the spicy flop. 2 diamonds.
I mean, in final tables, we don't get that luxury. You know, you want it, but it's almost like the atmosphere. There's just never going to be those large cooler situations. Gil Rilla, there were 66 total entries into our event. It was a $2,000 buy-in with $500 bounties. So when you knocked out a player, you were given a bounty of $500. And in the area of bounties, Greg Goder in the 1 seat is going to be, well, the GOAT. The man racked up 8 bounties yesterday. 8 souls were claimed, and he was able to receive 500 for each one of those. Yeah, Mark took a little stab there, and Dennis, which I think is a good play there, raising with top pair or 3-betting with top pair.
Check raising.
Not bad.
Dennis threw in the check raise because he has top pair. Pretty decent kicker. Board was uncoordinated, so unlikely that there'd be an overpair or set there.
Just a little? I just count.
That ain't no senior citizen.
Give us old people a break.
And it's no senior
Give us
citizen
old
thing.
people a break.
No discounted blinds here. Blinds are up now. I believe we're playing 3,000, 6,000. No,
3 and 6. Oh, 5,000 looks like.
oh, 6 till 5. You gotta be close though.
Look at Jax. So it looks like Will D came over and gave Corey some good luck. Corey Major, one of the regs in this building. A lot of people love the guy. He's a great guy, and he's on this final table enjoying himself. It's still early here. And Greg with 436 in stack, a little 7-4 action says, nah, no thank you. I don't want to do it. Regina Snyder Hampton says, good luck, Dickie Malone. Yeah, Dickie is he's a very animated guy. I dealt to him a little bit yesterday in the tournament, and he's just fun. He's just fun. I want to say they were playing a hand Dickie versus player X. And the board, I think, came like Jack, Jack, 10. He checks his opponent bets, and he just goes, I know you don't have any of that. Come on now. Don't play with me. I just like his table talk. He's a good player. And he picks up ace-10 off, so yeah, he's going to want to bump it up.
6
Makes it 12K to go. He's going to be channeling some of the energy from George's big win yesterday.
Paul, king, queen. He does have positions. Looks like he's gonna go for a
Oh, yeah, he is.
raise here.
Yes, he is. How much is that?
3-bet to
32,000?
32K, a little 3x action.
So if Dickie makes the call, that's what, an extra 20 to him?
And I think he's out of position. He could flat here and see where he's at, but when you flop a hand like ace-10, it's kind of hard to know if you're good or not. Yeah, tough hand to play with a 3-bet out of position.
So you like to fold there?
I do like to fold there.
Alright, the blind is going to be up now 3 and 6.
You know what are you gonna do? You're gonna hit an ace and you know, have to check call or check fold, or you hit a 10. Maybe you're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Even then, in the 3-bet pot, you could definitely put, like you said, you could put your opponent on a better ace.
now, if you had position, it'd be a little bit of a different story. And plus, Dickie doesn't have a lot of chips to be calling 3-bets late there.
So we do have Trey pushing in here. Trey's going to go ahead and take care of the table for 30 minutes before we get Kirk back. Very experienced dealers, good dealers, and it's dealers like Trey and Kirk that make tournament final tables so easy.
Yeah, Trey's been added to the roster, fairly new to the live stream.
Yeah, those chip denominations can sometimes trip up dealers, but these dealers know exactly what they're doing, and they make it really easy here in all-in situations and large pot situations.
There you go, blinds are up now 3,000, 6,000. Dennis gonna wake up ace-king, gonna raise up to 17K, but we got Tomarovich with pocket 7s, gotta push it in.
Yep. So I think him and Dennis are going to play a pot here. Paul's going to go ahead and quickly fold, and it's going to be 7s versus ace-king, so we got a nice little race for Tomarovich's tournament life. 7s versus ace-king, and I guess we'll go ahead and get the cards and see if Tomarovich can hold. Yeah, line them up, Trey.
Oh, yeah.
Line them up, line them up. Keep that flop close.
7's great
Wow,
flop,
he does have
but
outs, though. He hit it.
Yeah.
He has a straight. Tomarovich makes a straight and is going to stick around a little bit longer. He did flop that open-ender. Neither one of them had spades working for him, so that didn't matter, but catches the 10 on the river to give him a straight. And look at Dennis. He's like, oh, well, okay.
Yes. That's true. Should have refused the bounty back.
Right?
Just a tough spot to be in, but, you know, you turn the king and you hope he doesn't hit it. He's going to stick around a little bit longer, though. Nice hand there for Tomarovich.
See a little raise here from Greg. Try to steal some blinds. Min clicks it to 16. Not really min click, but raise to 16K. Paul King 5. It is on the small blind. Corey could peel flop here. Decides not to.
Gonna get with the blinds. Had 12,000 out there. Might have thought he might have made the call, but he's gonna go ahead and give it up. Two sevens for Mark under the gun. We're gonna bump it up here, make it what, 16, 17? 18,000.
Pretty large sizing for a pocket pair. Going 3x. Oh, Corey gonna move ace king. This is gonna go in.
Definitely gonna 3-bet it up here big.
No, I think he's gonna ship it all in. Ace king diamonds don't really want to play post flop. You just want to just rip it. 117K is under 20 bigs.
Right.
Does announce raise.
Yeah. Which, in that situation, rather than grabbing chips or contemplating what you want to raise to, just simply saying it, bounds you to it, and now you can actually think about what you want to make it. You said he had 117 in stack, so what could he make it here so that the SPR isn't too big? And I guess there's your answer. He made it how much?
58,000 back to Mark.
And Johnny, pinning a call and a flop, I think, does it even matter what the flop is? I think Corey just ships it in, or do you want to hold on to that 67,000 or 62,000 and hope you can?
Well, I did do the trick, so
I guess we don't have to worry about that. It's a pretty good raise there from Corey, but like you said, I guess to kind of keep it from you having little to nothing behind on a flop, if he calls, just ship it in there. Just get it
yeah,
in.
he's going to be stop and go. I don't think he was going to be checking any flop there.
I mean, shoving what 160 into a $13,000 open, like yeah, it's I guess it's rather large, but you got to think what 3-bet sizing is good enough to the point where you have over a 1 SPR pinning a flop. I don't think there is one.
Damarovich getting kind of short. I think he needs to ship here with the ace-4. Decides to wait for a better hand.
Oh no, 6s for Corey on the button. I think you could just call with that puck. Oh no, but Dickey's more than likely going to raise. Oh, he said raise, didn't he? Uh-oh.
Sure did. Now if I'm Dickey here, I don't think I want to 3-bet in this spot.
No, I
think
just
it's
call.
flat.
Dickey looks like he's rather invested though. He's like, Wow.
Dickey rips it all in here.
Damn. Who's left? Was it just Mark behind? Yeah, it was just Mark behind. How much did Corey make it? 18? That's a tough spot to be in. I mean, it's 6s though. 6s on the button. I don't think you can click that call.
No.
I don't think you can make the call.
Generally don't want to call off with 9s and below.
Yeah, so Corey's going to go ahead and make the fold. And Dickey taking a rather high variance approach there with the 2 8s. He's going to get the fold, and he's going to scoop up some chips.
You own the whole ranch around here, don't you? Whole ranch.
All right, Paul on the small blinds. He limped the 7-6. Dennis, 8-7 of hearts.
He's good with hair.
Gonna raise it to 17K. Paul's gonna go and call behind and see a flop.
Heads up.
Both players kind of smashed this flop here. Dennis with the top pair flush draw. We got Paul with the gutter for the 5. Dennis gonna lead out with a bet here. That's pretty big, 35,000. Paul's gonna make the call. 4 of spades on the turn.
Wow, Dennis has a rather large draw.
Now possibly 110,000. I think he just needs to ship here.
I mean, the board pairing on the turn just is rather bad for both players, but Dennis realizing he's out of position here, betting is probably going to be his only route to winning. He checks it, he knows he can't do much. Yes, Greg Goder, the young GOAT, did indeed claim 8 souls yesterday, collected 8 bounties for 500 apiece. He definitely did the job. Whatever the assignment was, he understood what needed to be done, and he did it. And he comes in as an overwhelming chip leader today. So shout out to Greg Goder. Shout out to the family and friends that are watching him. So far, he is crushing it. And he's poised to run really deep here on this final table. As Corey has been running rather well, the situations haven't played out the way he wanted to, but he's picking up the cards. Looks down at ace, king of clubs. He's going to glance at the clock to make sure he knows what the blinds are before he raises, but you can bet your bottom dollar he's going to put in something here.
Yeah, I don't think Paul's gonna mess around with the king 10 here. Maybe he is. I think you're gonna see a flop.
And a king here would spell disaster for Paul. Oh, and Greg here, just as soon as I mention his name, picks up 2 8s in the big blind. So we might see some 3-way action.
We're definitely gonna see some 3-way action. I think Greg just might flat here with 8s. 2 players behind.
And I think, or I guess I should ask, do you think here he's thinking about like getting the double knockout, knowing he has such an overwhelming chip lead that he could essentially play this hand how he wants?
Yeah, he's getting racing chips out. So
See, that's what I'm saying. Like he knows, which this is music to Corey's ears because Corey's gonna ship it pending Greg 3-bets.
Yeah, this is pretty hefty 3-bet here. It's going
Oh yeah, Corey's all in.
65,000.
Corey's just gonna, Hollywood a little bit, not make it so obvious because Paul is behind, but Corey's chips are going in the middle.
I hope Corey doesn't just flat here.
No. You flat, you leave yourself with under what, 50? Maybe close to 50? I think you just got to get it in. I think that's just what happens in this situation, and you just hope that you can find a king on the flop. It's a tough situation. So Corey's going to take his time, but I think he has to click the all-in button. I don't really think there's any other avenue to take. I don't call the 3-bet. You leave yourself at 50.
Oh, yeah, he's going to flat it.
Okay, so I was grossly wrong in that assumption. He had
Now
88,000.
Paul's getting a great price here to just flat here as well.
Oh my God, we are going to see a 3-way flop in a 3-bet pot. Let's go. So we got a little tournament action here brewing. Got a nice pot brewing too. Paul makes this call. We'll have in the upwards of 180,000 in the middle.
Paul going to leave himself very exposed here. Going to call off the 3-bet, leaving him 73K behind.
Only thing is, if that flop comes 9 or 10 high, Corey just put in 54,000 when he probably could have just shipped it and seen all 5. I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh.
Open-ended.
Open-ended for Paul.
Gutter.
2 overs for Corey. Greg in the lead, but he's going to feel not good with 2 overs on the flop.
Wow. This is where I think if Corey just ships it here Greg's not folding.
I think Greg's folds.
Oh, and Corey just goes all in?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
This is
Paul
gonna
folds
work.
the open-ender.
This is going to work.
And backdoor diamonds?
Is this going to work?
It is definitely going to work. I don't think Greg can
So
really call here.
what hands are in Corey's, going, if you're in the mind of Greg, what hands can Corey be calling a 3-bet with here with a player behind? 10s, 9s, queens, jacks?
No, queens, well,
What a move.
all right.
Definitely not how I expected that hand to end, but Corey there asserted his dominance. He's like, you know what? If I can't hit the flop, I'm still going to push and hope to get a fold.
Kind of disappointed of Paul not just going to rip there with the open-ender.
How much did he have left?
Left him for like 73,000, so blinds are 3,000, 6,000. I don't like it.
More than split.
Paul's been pretty quiet, but he's going to wake up with queen 10 of diamonds. He's going to raise it up to 16. Dickey mucks, I'm sorry, Corey mucks the ace 10, and Dickey with ace 7 of spades.
Paul here getting involved. Hasn't really picked too many hands to get out of line with. Just wants to get involved in the action, put some chips in the middle of the pot.
Yeah, these guys are going to want chips because ICM's not all that much in play here. The difference between 7th to 8th is only $676 and $1,000 from 6th to 7th.
Yeah, so they're going to want to collect some chips up here rather soon. Wow. PS3 says strong play, maybe even reckless. I mean, reckless might be the word. It's one of those things where so many of your chips is in the middle, you just kind of have to go with it, you know? It's kind of like, well, right or wrong, 70% of my stack's in the middle. If I get called, I have outs. But yeah, maybe the word reckless might be good. Strong, but reckless.
Pair of aces for Paul C and pair of sixes for Petralia.
And now if you're Paul, I guess you're kind of committed. You know, you kind of just want to see this through to the end. You have an ace. You don't have many chips behind. And as more chips go in the middle and leave your stack, you got to assume if I don't have the best hand, I got to try to stick it out until I can't get there. But, oh, God. And as soon as I say that, look at Paul. 59K in the middle. Paul has, well, it's the battle of Pauls. Paul C goes all, did he go? I thought he went all in. Oh, I was like, boy, that's a crushing blow for Paul's stack. Paul has 32K in stack now. Blinds are 3 and 6.
See, I would have took the option of taking the open-ender a couple of hands before and tried to double there. Now he's left to 32,000, playing a little bit loosey-goosey on the short stack.
Yeah, and I think it's when you're in tournaments, it's not like a cash game where you have reloading chips in your pocket. So the mistakes are a lot more crucial. The misplays are a lot more crucial. And I think Paul might be kicking himself for not getting his money in there with the open-ender.
Now, if Paul does double up, he's going to be where he was at when he had the King 10 of diamonds.
There's the raise there from Dickey with ace-queen off. And Paul with 9 trays, going to have to kick it in the muck. And then take some quick chip inventory, see where he's at. And he's not in a good spot. Yeah, with ace deuce on that flop, you just jam it in there. Yeah, if your opponent has an ace or has you out kick, I guess you just go with it, right? That's the idea. When you're short stack, you'll hear that saying a lot because I mean I guess that's literally what happens. You just have to go with it.
Dickey smashes this flop here. I feel like if Dickey check, ooh, does check. I do like the check call strategy from Dickey in this spot.
But Greg's good, man. Greg is good. Greg's not going to take the bait.
Dickey here needs to lead.
$43K in the middle. Oh, he's going big.
27.
Oh, I thought that other stack to the right of the stack he was sizing into was also going in the middle. But he does bet somewhere around a little over half pot.
Greg only have 2 outs here. Although, maybe jack, but 2 of them were folded.
Wow, smoked him. So we're going to go ahead and continue. For those who are just joining us, this is the Best Bet Knockout Series Haymaker event. It is a $2,000 buy-in. We had 66 total entrants yesterday. We are now down to our final 8. The first player out is guaranteed somewhere north of $3,000. But they're all playing for that first prize money, which is $26,125. So best of luck to all 8. We did go through some player introductions, but all the players are still in, and we have a player all in and at risk. Paul C's going to move in for the remainder of his chips with ace deuce off suit, looking to try to catch a double up, and I think Paul Petraglia might make the call here for 32,000 on the button. Yep. Oh, and Dickey picks up ace king in the big blind. So Paul thinks he might just get this 3 ways to a flop. Dickey says, not so fast, my friend. This might play out not how you think it's going to.
Yeah, Dickey wants to squeeze here.
You damn right. I got ace king. I have ace king. This is a dream scenario. I can, reship it here, maybe 3-bet big enough where I can take down that dead money, and, well, he'll have Paul drawing dead to a deuce.
I think the appropriate move here is just to move all in.
Yes.
Wow. Great. I think he just wants to put a hefty 3-bet in there.
Yeah, I think he does. He slammed those chips down pretty hard. This the only thing is that when you go with such a large 3-bet, other than all in, like what do you do pending a flop? It's gonna go in either way, and I think Paul realizes that too when he realizes how large this 3-bet is. You call it off, you're more than likely going to be playing for stacks.
What?
No way.
What?
There's no way he just called.
What?
I don't know about that one. I mean, he equity here pre-flop. He is in the lead, but I feel like allowing Paul to enter this pot here 3 ways is somewhat of a mistake. But hey, let's not be too quick here to pass judgment on Dickey.
Yeah, I think this just gets checked all the way through here if there's no ace, king, or queen. No real reason for Paul to bet here. Tray of hearts on the turn. I think I'm gonna go check again.
Wow, I can't believe he didn't 3-bet.
Yeah, what is Dickey thinking?
Is that a deuce? Oh no! Don't tell me Paul is gonna. Is Paul gonna scoop with a deuce?
Look at the deuce.
Oh,
It is a freaking deuce. Oh my God. Paul is going to take this pot down, making a pair of deuces on the river. And I think Dickey's going to be kicking himself. Paul got the best. That's the best case scenario if your name's Paul C. But for Dickey there, he's probably thinking, hey, I should have probably 3-bet rather big there. And
a little too passive in this stage of the tournament to be just flatting kings there. I mean, ace king there.
I mean, either way, if the result would have been the same, Paul C would have still taken down the main. But man,
Yeah, but if Petralia calls, I mean, he gets the money in the side pot.
yeah, if they can start building a side, this is true. So what was a rather, let's be honest, bad situation pre-flop in terms of equity turned out to be a best case scenario for Paul. Makes a deuce on the river, comes from behind, way behind, and now he has a comfortable enough chip lead to the point where he doesn't have to panic or, get it all in with a marginal hand. Ace-10 of clubs for Mark. He's just going to make the call. Out of position. Let's head to a flop. Heads up. Win top pair for Mark. So Paul's going to make the call for 21K, and those spades are a little dangerous. Neither player is holding one, but all the overs out there, no spade. If you're Paul, you just give up here. Yeah, that's a face card on the river. I think you have to. Pair of tens are good. Not too much happening here, as it looks like everybody has folded around. I don't think there's anyone left in the field. Oh, excuse me. got a raise from Dickey. Interesting enough, he's going to open 6-4 offsuit. A little curious about that, but and Paul with some chips to work with, and now off live support is going to make the call with King 7, getting a pretty good price to see a flop and open to connect. And I think that's the best possible flop if you're Dickey and you're opening 6-4 off on the button. He is open-ended, which gives him all the merit here to continue if it is checked to him. Dickey's my hero. Dickey is my hero.
All right, Kirk's coming back in, everyone. Blinds are up 488.
Just a hell of a move there to move all in with the open ender. And his read was spot on. He definitely had a read on the situation, decided to apply max pressure, and got the fold there. Just big play there from Dickey. If he continues this up, he'll be standing in front of all the chips with his 2 favorite cards in the air and collecting that first place money.
All right, 8,000 to go now, guys. 4 and 8. Good luck. Hold on. All in? All you can do.
Well, Tomarovich gets one through. King, queen. Gonna pick up 20K, stack up to 73,000.
Loses the minimum with ace king and gets it through with 6. Yeah, I know, right? This guy is the man. How do I view the game? The game that you're watching? Let's go Vladimir. Yes, Vladimir is still in it. Ilya Denko. He actually had an earlier situation where he was on life support. He was on his way out, and he got a pretty big double up. So Vladimir is in pretty decent shape. Don Plus says, let's go, Corey. Corey also has been running above average when it comes to picking up good cards like those in front of Dennis with ace-king offsuit in the small blind. Blinds are now, I believe, what, 4,000 and 8,000. So he's definitely going to want to put in a raise and hopefully see this through and chip up.
Raise it up, 24.
Everybody folds, right?
Yeah, Dennis wanted some action there and couldn't get any.
Yeah.
James Kelly says, what are the payouts? Well, I'm glad you asked, because if you look right below your comment, you will find exactly that.
Did you see break or no? Oh, yeah.
raise, but.
Fold trip. Fold four. Fold six. So it's gonna raise to 18. Fold eight.
Yeah, today's gonna be a good day, Johnny. And if you're Dennis, you feel the same sentiment. If anything, you love it. And he's going for a monster raise here. And Mark's gonna realize his deuces are no good, and that the saying "deuces never lose" loses is wrong. He's gonna have to get those cards in them up real quick.
Yeah, just show bluff one time, so people can loosen up against you, man. You can't, man.
Unfortunately, I can't show
I've always seen a
Corey said,
yeah.
"Yeah." Corey's like, "Dennis, come on, just show a bluff. Everybody loosens up. We're already drinking beer. We're having a good time. Just show a bluff," and he just can't.
Yeah,
Well, if he just calls, then they re-raise.
yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like a good plan, doesn't it, Paul? Just let them catch up.
It is Jacksonville, come on.
This final table's going the distance. I think the last time you ran a final table last month, it took maybe 3 hours. We're already pushing the first hour here with nobody eliminated.
All
I think this is the longest time we've played, like you said, until
in.
somebody's got knocked out. Everybody's still here. Everybody still has chips.
Corey, now I've showed all the big hands, I can stop bluffing.
Yeah, it'll
That
work.
doesn't all the small hands, right?
Yeah, it works until it doesn't. Somebody wakes up with a monster on you.
He wakes up with a monster after you 3-bet queens. It was meant to be.
Oh, yeah, hey, I was,
It did
you
happen.
know, he could have jammed right there on me and had aces or kings. But I was probably going home if he did.
Yeah, Des ain't folding.
Yeah, no, like you said, I was probably going home because I'm not gonna. Even though he could have aces or kings, like I'm not folding against there. Sorry, you're just gonna have to take me out, big dog.
Marvich working that small stack.
Hey, what's up, Sean Hunter? We're just broadcasting a little tournament action. We did have a knockout series here this weekend. We had the Jab, which was $300 no limit hold'em tournament. It was it did attract a lot of entries. We had the $2,000 Haymaker, which you're now seeing the final table of that, and we have the uppercut going in the back of the room.
Naming the next one the Street Fighter series. I'm gonna go with the Hadouken,
I don't
The-
listen.
the Shoryuken,
Why not the September Sizzler? Like, listen,
and then the Flash Kick. Come on.
it's not that I'm against the names, but if we're really gonna do like a knockout series and make it real fun,
Yeah.
let's just throw some. Let's go all the way. So let's call it. What is it?
Would we be a hit from Capcom though, like the their
Like let's
trademarks?
let's do Hadouken. Let's do Giles. What is Giles? What's
Sonic
the-
Boom?
Sonic Boom. Like,
Yeah.
come on. I'm with it. Like, let's make it fun. September Sizzler is how we started. But doesn't look like the table's having too much fun. But there's a lot of money up top, so it's expected, you know.
I just want to say that the best bet Hadouken champion.
Yes, and like have just the straight. Like, I understand copyright and all that good stuff, but hey, I want to see it happen.
All in.
Yeah, and Tamarovich is going to go ahead and go all in. King, Queen, and Paul looks down at Ace, Jack on the button. But he has about 4 players behind him. So this is going to be a spot for him. Let's see what happens. Ian, how you doing, buddy?
Can you trademark a name of a special move? I don't think so. Yeah, I guess you can.
Maybe. Yeah. Like, yeah, maybe. I guess you could. Think Paul might put in the re-raise here just to isolate? Because, I mean, otherwise, do you want to risk calling and then having somebody in the under the gun position wake up to a rather large hand? You put in 53 and you got to fold? There it is. There you go, Paul. And that's the move there that you have to make. Shows the ace of clubs. Paul didn't like to see that. Now that's one of his outs gone. But here pre-flop, he is going to have the equity advantage.
Like
And
seeing
he
that.
didn't like seeing it.
Yeah.
Not a bad flop. Decent turn. And a clean river. We have our first exit of the night. Tamarovich is going to go ahead and head out in 8th place. He's going to take home $3,076. But that was, considering the amount of chips he was on and life support he was on, he lasted a long time. So
Let's get some chip counts. So finally, one player eliminated, 7 players left at this final table. Who is our chip leader? That is Greg, still 351,000, 21% of the chips. Paul C, still short, 15 bigs, 127K.
not bad at all.
It's
Not
fairly
bad at all.
even though right now.
It's
other
fairly
than-
even. It's not bad. You know, they're fighting hard, and even though Greg Goder is the champion, I love how as Tamarovich makes his exit, Greg instantly just slides on over. He's like, let's go ahead and get some room going here. I got some time ahead of me, and I'm going to be here a while.
Raise it up. 19. Yeah, that's fine. It's good.
Greg using that big stack there to his advantage. Still playing the big stack bully. Blinds are 4 and 8,000. We've eclipsed around the hour mark. These seated athletes have been playing for about an hour, but if you want to put everything together, they've been playing in this tournament for about 12 to 13 hours. So they all got a good night rest, I hope, and they're back here playing in this tournament, trying to win some first place money. Dennis looking down at 9s. Now, Dennis's image at this table has been, tight isn't even the word. The man is just tight as all get out. In this setting at this table, he's only shown down above average hands, so they're going to give him all the respect that he is due. I don't know if anybody will be giving him action. I mean, because you could be drawing dead. That's the thing. So, yeah, Dennis will go ahead and take it down. Nice raise there from Dennis. Sean Hunter, if Paul C can double through the chip leader, it would be a pretty level field chip-wise. And Paul is an experienced enough player, a good enough player where that could very much happen. It's just that everyone at this table is so good, you don't really know. Like right now, normally I'll have a pick or who I think will win, and I just don't know. I couldn't even tell you. I mean, Greg has an overwhelming chip lead, so if I had to pick, I would say Greg. You know, 8 bounties, chip lead. You don't really get that by just good luck. Take some skill. But I couldn't really tell you who might win this.
Raise to 20. See 3 forfeits.
And Paul being up against Dennis might not even think his ace is good. Might just want to, oh boy. Now that might change some things because Dennis never has 5-7 or deuce 5 here. Never, ever, ever. So unless he has ace-6, Paul knows he has the best hand.
75.
Yeah, there's the
75
raise.
raises it up.
And if Dennis has ace-queen or ace-king, which Paul might put him on, then he knows he can get all the chips. But he never has a straight, never, ever, ever has a straight here. And Dennis more than likely has, you know, queens, kings, or a rather large ace. And that turn card puts Paul in a poised position to take it down. Oh, Lord. Dennis has not released his hand yet, so this might get bad. So I'm starting to lean more towards ace-queen, ace-jack. But he does make the fold. Wish we could have seen his cards, but whatever it was, he didn't think it was good enough to beat Paul's 2-pair.
Fold 3. Fold 4. Fold 6. Fold 7. Fold 8.
Michael Goder says today is Greg's day. He's due for a first place finish. He needs some cards. Well, that's the best thing about players when they have a chip lead, and well, they're just good at the game. Is even without picking up the cards, they're able to manifest some good luck and put themselves in a position where they're bringing in chips. So, can you imagine the disaster Paul, or rather Greg, could wreak on the table if he were picking up cards? And he's still doing just fine. Michael Crowther says, good luck, Paul P. Yeah, Paul's doing rather well so far. We got a lot of final table left, but Paul's still in it, and he has a rather decent chip stack.
73.
So Dennis, using that rather tight image to try to take this pot down, is going to 3-bet king, queen to 73K. And that's a chunky 3-bet. And even though Greg does have a ton of chips, it's something to consider. Frank Petraglia coming in, wishing his cousin some good luck. I'm glad to see you in here, wishing Paul best of luck. I'm pretty sure they all enjoy the good energy, good vibes, and kind words.
Fold 73.
Wait.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
no worries.
So Greg is going to make the call in position with ace-9 of clubs. Oh, Lord, look at this. So Dennis is going to flop trips, and Greg is going to flop the nut flush draw. We might see some chips go in the middle here. We might play our first big one of the day.
45.
If you're Greg, I think you have to see a turn card. Block ace-king, so he can't necessarily have ace-king. He could have all the kings, but can he have king-10 here? Would he 3-bet with king-10? I think the answer is no. So you know, you might be behind. He might have like king-jack, king-9, king-queen.
And a call.
So if you know if you're up against those hands, your implied odds are very well heading to a turn. And there it is.
Drills it.
There you go. There you have it. Yep, there's a call. And I think Greg had the perfect read on the hand. He knew he didn't have a boat, knew he had a king, knew the implied odds were there,
Oh my gosh.
and makes freaking quads.
Couple of qua on the final table
One hand
for
I
the
did
chip
not
lead.
How do you do that?
No way I could.
Yeah. So Dennis takes the chip lead from Greg.
And Greg had the perfect read, 100%.
That's true.
Knew where he was on the flop, knew where he was on the turn, and this is just one of those cruel things about poker where you could play a hand perfectly, get your chips in well, and still come out on the losing end.
Yeah, they call that the
Oh,
kula.
he snapped. I said, oh, I'm in trouble. And I knew what it was, too. I know
3,
what it was.
6,
I-
7
Ace King's the only
outs.
thing otherwise.
Gets there.
Yeah, that's a tough hand if you're Greg.
Actually, he had 10 outs.
He just knew and that's like, if there ever was a time I was on the same wavelength with someone, it was there. Greg knew where he was, knew what hand or what combination of hands Dennis had, knew if he hit the club he was good. He knew everything. That's the point. He knew everything. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It's just a cooler. But at a final table with so much up top, with so many chips, those are the hands that hurt you.
When the club comes, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna call anyway. And
You're not folding.
he's jamming me, so
Yeah, but
it's all gonna come out.
Oh, Kirk the Cooler strikes again.
Is it Kirk? Yeah, it is damn Kirk. I was like, it is Kirk. Wow. Can't do anything about that one. If you're Greg, you just have to move on, put it behind you. It's tough too, and it's easier said than done, because you know if you win that pot there, you have an overwhelming chip lead. You get the knockout, and you're steamrolling the table, and the deck didn't allow you to do that.
What's up, Nick from Yuma? Doing very well. Busy weekend.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's one of those the rock situation. It doesn't matter. You just hate it.
Wow, Dickie's King 10 raise 20K gets through.
Yeah, he knew he was behind, but his implied odds were so good, you know? He knew he was behind, and he knew he made the best hand on the turn. So even though it might have been an ill-advised call, he hit the card he wanted to. And he was ahead. I think he played the hand perfectly. I just think you can never account for that king on the river. Yeah, just a little. You know, it is a final table. It is tournament, but just a little bit. How are you doing, Nick from Yuma? Jalanta, how are you? At a final table, not you. He didn't punt off until he was made. He played it perfectly, just got unlucky. Exactly. That's what I think. Yeah. That was just gross, you know? Like, you can make the case calling a 3-bet there with ace-9 of clubs, but like I said, from my perspective, from my vantage point up here, I think Greg played that hand masterfully. I think he's just, whatever, like, guy makes quads against you. Like,
Yeah, what are you going to do?
what are you going to do? Like, you can't do anything about it. Just take it.
Dennis mucking the deuces, but Greg going to make it.
Oh, he's going to get
bucket
rewarded.
aces.
Or not rather rewarded, but he's going to wake up to a rather large hand. Greg picks up aces.
Raise to 21.
Takes a pretty big sizing.
No, he didn't get it on the flop. He got it in on the turn. What are you watching? Are you watching the same thing as me, Sean?
Yeah, he flatted flop, got the
Yeah.
turn, went all in and call.
Yeah, he had the best hand when he put his chips in the middle. What are you doing? Uh-oh. I think he has that look in his eyes like he might know what he wants to do, and it might be ill-advised.
21. Heads up.
So he is going to make the call, and he has 7% equity to win. And it's a good thing he didn't connect. Good thing he didn't get the case ace because, well, a lot of chips would have been lost there.
Check.
Nice little down bet there on the flop, hoping to keep in, you know, 8s, queens, and hoping you can get a call. Did Dennis have pocket deuces, Daryl, I think? I think I saw that too.
You have any brown
I think it
behind
caught my eye.
Just these.
Thank
I started around like 152.
Yeah, I don't see Dickie calling here.
No, I can't. I mean, it's a very enticing bet, but you have ace high. You have no pair. No pair, no draw. You know what we do with that? We put that right in the muck.
It's looking great there. I like the check in that spot. Check jam. I think Dennis has 2K that he lost track of.
I see the chips over there in the rail. Compared to the rest of the chips, I don't think Dennis is too worried, but he might want to get his hands on those. Eight, 9 of clubs looks nice, and Mark is going to pick up some deuces again. So let's see if he can spike that set. No. And instead, Dickie's going to find himself with a pretty good flop for 9, 8 of clubs, all things considered. 7 makes Dickie, and a trade would give Mark a straight, but he would be losing to any 7. There's Walter. The seated athletes are here. They are in seat, and you are watching. So thanks for tuning in.
Check.
Dickie pretty much half the deck.
16 outs. I mean, he can't probably think his pair outs are live, but they are.
What?
He's gonna find. I mean, board's paired. You have a little gutter action. Got to make the fold, I guess. Not a bad play there from Mark. Turn your deuces into a semi-bluff there. Like, can't win if I check. Oh, and Dennis now has, I didn't know Dennis had 442 in stack. So that's probably the biggest hand of the final table. Nut flush versus trips. Guy makes squads on the river. That guy being Dennis. And now he has the chip lead at the table. I told him earlier, I said if I had to pick who would come out on top, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. It could easily be any one of these players.
Raise to 20,000.
Oh. Dickie's trying to just keep it calm here. I got aces. I got American Airlines. I have the goods. I have the best hand ever created in poker. How can I maximize my value? How can I get all the chips possible?
Make it 55. think you heard me.
Raise.
No, it's a little more 55.
60,000.
60.
And I think
Okay.
I think that 5K chip slipped. I think he meant to make it 55. Oh, so yeah, KRT, even in cash and tournaments, Corey
Yeah, we can't.
keeps his chips masterfully organized. That's just his thing. He makes sure his chips, even though there's a possibility they could go into the pot, he's going to make sure they look nice when they go in.
Yeah, he likes to make the checkered flag as opposed to the barber stack.
What did you just say?
So he likes to make it the checkered flag
Yeah, he does. He
as
loves
opposed to the barber stack, where like it's you know how you
it.
barber.
Oh, yeah. He likes the checkers on it though. He likes to keep the checkered pattern going. Daryl says Dennis B has to be one of the tightest players I've ever played against. His patience is amazing. Absolutely. Dennis is gonna sit there like a wall, waiting on it. And in that hand against Greg, he was at the bottom of his range there with King Queen.
Blinds are up now, 5,000, 10,000.
All the best in God, for 10 more, I really want to call, but I can't.
Next to nothing, Dennis.
That's all right.
Dude, I love Dennis. Look at him, he's like, oh, and Greg better get back to the table. He's in the big blind. They're gonna take that if he's sitting there or not.
A little min raise there, Jerry.
Johnny, is that kind of range?
Yeah, unfortunately, Greg wasn't at his seat when the cards were dealt, so his hand is dead. And it's on the big blind. Ew.
That is how that works, right? If you're not there when the cards are dealt, you gotta surrender that hand. That hand is dead. You can never keep your chips like that, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps them nice and uniform.
Yeah, Trey doing his job there, his due diligence.
What is Dickie doing?
He's going to church of the Jack 9.
I would politely and with open arms welcome him to the church if he can win this hand. That's the thing. It's about raising and winning. He folded aces. God, he wasn't at his chair and he had aces. Oh, my God.
I don't think Greg wants to see
No, don't look at that.
Oh, no.
He was at his chair and folded. I mean, it's not that he folded. He wasn't there, so his hand was dead.
Yeah, if your hand is not, if you aren't at your seat by the time the last card hits the button, your hand is dead. Unfortunately, it is the case. I couldn't make any exceptions just because it's the final table and it's live stream. But yeah, same
He
rules
had aces.
apply.
He had aces.
And I can't believe he had aces. And ugh,
Wow.
ugh,
That one hurt me.
yeah, that hurt me to the core.
I mean, because if anything, he was guaranteed to make whatever Dickie raised to.
Yeah.
And at this point, every chip matters. You know, you can never downplay it. You can never go, well, Adonis is only like 18 or 20,000. That 18 or 20,000 makes a big difference.
Well, that's the thing, though. If I let him do that in that spot, like I couldn't.
Then, yeah, you
yeah,
can't.
any
You
other
can't.
tournament, you know.
I mean, you did your job.
Yeah, I mean it's a rule to rule. I can't really slide on that, you know.
Yeah, you did your job. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Seems to be a general habit in my big blind. I just throw them right down there, don't I?
It's just crazy that it ended up being that.
I know. I know. Yeah, that made me puke just a little bit.
Damn.
Well, good thing for now, though. Gray didn't know it.
Yeah, he doesn't know it now, and when he looks back at it later, this tournament will be decided. So at least he won't hurt him that badly. That is something you do have to take into consideration too. Does he open without that 20K free? And you better believe he took into account that before he raised. So you make a good point there, KRT. Paul's all in for his tournament life with 7, 8 of clubs. Blinds are going up. It's not going to get. Oh boy, and Corey's going to snap him off with ace, ace. Aces are running around this table, and they found their way into Corey's seat.
Tough call. Tough call.
Over the pair. Oh my God.
Oh, there's an ace on the flop, but he's not out of the woods.
He's got a club draw.
He's got a 7 too. Oh, and he's gonna miss every single piece of it. He's gonna miss every single piece of that.
Sick flop.
I mean,
Oh, that was.
you're gonna be battling aces at least. That's
You see the ace and then you see the 2 clubs. You're like, oh my God.
I don't know. I'd have to check, but I think there are only 4 aces in that deck.
Lapa said it's still sweat.
Yep.
So with that, Paul's gonna take his lead. Paul's tournament life has ran down to nothing, and he is gonna finish in fourth place. He's gonna finish in 7th place. He's gonna take home $3,676.
Yeah, I know you would.
It was just a wonderful situation if you're Corey.
It's always nice when you get them aces or kings and somebody jams in front of you. You don't
Yeah,
always
these pay
see
jumps
it, but
are
you
about to
still
get pretty real.
see it.
If you're a Dennis fan, Dennis is doing above average. Dennis is doing great. Dennis found a situation where he was light years behind but did catch up, and it doesn't really matter. As long as you're scooping the chips, how you got there doesn't matter. So if you're rooting for Dennis, Dennis is doing just fine. I'm happy to report. Yeah, Don, it's always a sweat. It always has to be a sweat. It can never be easy. If it were easy, it wouldn't be poker.
All right, 2 War Poker Tour contenders in the pot now. King 10 versus Jack 10.
Oh, and Paul's just going to flop the nuts here against Dickey. And Dickey does have the jack of clubs.
Oh, I don't like this lead from Paul. He does go for the down bet, though. I like that. If I'm Dickey here, I almost want to appeal just one more. Indeed he does.
He's peeling, drawing dead. I just hope Dickey can find a way to get away from it and no club comes on the turn, because that would be bad.
Oh, and it does come.
Oh, boy.
I think Paul should definitely be valuing here. Oh, and check. It does go check. So Paul does have position. If Dickey checks behind here, Paul can lead out with a pretty good value here. Make it like 40,000.
Please check, Dickey. I know you have a very strong hand. I know. I know you have a strong hand. I know you have to bet because you have the jack of clubs, but I can see from up here what your buddy Paul has in the 3 seed, and it's something that's going to make you sick.
Yeah, such a great check on the turn from Paul. Bets flop, checks turn, and deuces.
Leon, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
Dickey to bet river here. And if you're Paul, you just want to go to Value Town and go 75,000.
Oh, boy. This is going to hurt. It's just going to hurt. And I don't know. It depends on what Paul makes it. I'm trying to figure out if Dickey can get away from it, but it just depends on what Paul makes it.
Goes 100. Yeah, we'll like Paul's size a little bit less, only because this 100K bet is going to cripple Dickey.
I think for that reason alone, I think Dickey might be able to find the fold. It would be a hell of a freaking laydown. There are 2 hands that beat you. 2 hands. In that situation, yeah, that's a big laydown there from Dickey. Big laydown.
Thanks, bud.
Wow. Did find a way to get away from it.
What's that with?
140 I started with.
Mark says no more games. He says no more games. I got Jack. I haven't seen too many hands and I'm ready to go. Oh boy, I didn't see this.
Back in the game.
All right.
Hey, don't do that no more, man. We
Everybody's-
all knew
everybody's
that.
I'm back in the game now.
Dude, Dennis having the time of his life. He loves it. Dennis loves it.
Dennis is a contender. He's final tabled a lot of tournaments that I've run.
I've always seen him. I've always seen him just trucking around.
What's his last name again? Dennis
Bergeron.
I fold.
Huh? 130.
Uh-oh. Greg's all in. Ace 8 versus Kings. Greg needs to find an ace to stay alive. Let's see if he can do it.
Yeah,
Ace on the flop. Look at that. Oh, ace on the turn. Corey is drawing dead.
So Karma does pay a little back. So Greg missed out on pocket aces, but finds himself having nice double up with ace 8 against Kings.
Oh my God.
That's gotta feel a little better now.
Not only do you find an ace on the flop, you find an ace on the turn, and if you're Corey, you're disgusted.
50, 77. I only have 376.
Oh yeah, he did have 2 kings to hit on the river. My mistake there. He wasn't drawing dead on the turn. There were 2 kings in the deck that could have helped him. So he did have some outs going to the river, but I think being just stunned there, finding not only 1 ace, but 2 aces against 2 kings is just, wild. You know, I have ace-8. Let me flop an ace and turn an ace really quick. The prize pool, yeah, it's exclamation point payouts. And that's going to tell you where you're at and what kind of money these guys are looking at. It's always like that. Oh, and an ace finds its way on this flop again, so that might shut down the action. 10's going to give Dennis here some outs to Broadway, but Paul blocks all of those.
Have Jack.
I've known that other places.
That's what he needed. Straight. Jackson didn't say it.
Hate that damn thing, especially on a board like that.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, I bet he raises just for spite.
I needed a jack for the straight.
Paul, you're big blind to Andy.
You got it, bud. I'm sorry.
Bulldogs are loud. You're too quiet over there.
Well, I'm telling you, good toss, sir. That's what I thought.
Always good for somebody.
Paul says, why not? Getting an excellent price here to see a flop with Jack 8. I'm out of position, but hey, if I can make it, I'll get paid. Oh, wow. All clubs here on this flop. And Dennis here is going to have the lead. Top pair, but not a club in his hand.
Gotta look back, boys. I know where I'm at.
I didn't have to look back, actually.
24,000.
Three bet, I think 6 bets, 24 now.
If that's okay. Yep. Did you say all
Oh, that's close.
Oh.
It's close.
What I thought it was.
Yeah.
Wow. Would you look at that? 4 clubs on the board, and neither player has one. Dennis makes 2 pair on the river, and Dickey backs his way into Broadway. But there are just so many clubs out there.
I had Jack 8 there too. And that's just crazy. I'd hit 2
That is
pair.
crazy. Yeah, Paul would have made 2 pair. Obviously, that board, though, there wouldn't have been too much put in the middle. But
Make another easy.
I knew I had 2 hearts, and I didn't.
Yeah,
You said look back, I said, I'll look back.
No need to look back at mine.
I knew what I had.
I knew I had a black card and I
Once he
could not
said we had to
remember.
look back, I said, I better look back.
Yes, sir. I said I knew what I had. I knew I didn't have one.
I might have bet the river had that. Not he giving me 2 pair. I said, I ain't got showdown value.
Yes, oh, I am. Okay. Let me do some house cleaning right real quick. All right. I guess still got chain. All right. Get out of the street right here. I don't need out there. Having around out there with them no more. They got driving 18-wheelers and stuff. One for me and one Listen in now, he's trying to con you over there.
I don't think that's possible.
Or maybe it's 3 in a row and then you go to
I don't know. I don't know your reputation.
Not too many good hands going around. Oh, until you look at Greg.
You know, 'cause
He's going to look down at the suited queen, jack of hearts. See if I can find some updates in the main event for you guys. Those who might be watching this and who might not be privy to that information. Let's see what we got going on there.
What would you say? I know what I have.
Oh,
I have
22? I mean, it's 22.
yes, sir.
I would like Dickey to race or defend or something. There we go.
See his hand. All right, I'm gonna check.
check 6.
Top pair for Greg.
Top pair might be good enough.
20.
Oh no, it started. It's going right now.
Friendly call. Friendly call. Friendly call. With your king, it's a friendly call. I'm checking my flush draw. Oh, my.
Uh-oh, and Greg turns 2 pair. Dickey tells him he checks his flush draw. And look at this. I thought Dickey had no outs going to the river. I was just sure enough Greg was going to win this hand, and Dickey has backed his way into the bottom end of the straight. Greg is running pretty bad here on this final table. And I hate to say it, but it's definitely happening.
I check. I have 2 pairs.
I got one pair.
With the king. You could have a king at all. We're talking about a
Is
stair
Dickey
card.
going to fold his straight?
Straight.
Oh, God, I thought it was in
Oh, nice hand.
He almost threw it away. You're lucky it
Oh.
Dickey didn't realize he had a straight and almost threw it away. It just so happened to kind of reluctantly turn over his hand. He didn't realize he had a straight, guys. He did not realize he had a straight at all.
Nobody thought that.
He called the flop so fast. He thought,
yes, you're exactly correct about that.
no way you call it fast.
That's the you're right. You're exactly right. I called him. I thought I had a pair. But yeah, when I do this, my first tournament. Yes, first tournament. First tournament, guys.
This is my second. Oh.
Yeah. Damn right, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, it has been pretty sick for Greg. It has not been good. And Dickey, not realizing he had a straight, is going to take down that pot. And then next hand, look down at ace king.
Is it okay if I look at it now?
You can do that.
And he just calls with ace king. So he's playing this hand a little trappy against Dennis. And Dennis has a rather tight image
I know how
and
you
out flops him.
continue to bet all the time. I'm checking. I know how you do. You sure are, man. I'm not saying
30,000.
30,000.
That's right.
You got king, queen, ace, queen.
He does have king
What
queen.
hand have I had the most today? King
Whatever that you had, I'll tell you what I had. I'll tell you what I had. I had ace king. You'll see,
I've had king queen with
I thought you had to take the king, queen, ace, queen.
He did that yesterday.
I had ace, king that time.
Dickey did that yesterday in the same exact scenario.
You get to see.
He checks to his opponent. His opponent checks back, or no, his opponent bets on the river, and he folds and says, "You have king queen," and the opponent just, I guess, for him being right in his read, showed him king queen. So Dickey's reads are on point today. Sean, I'm on WSOP.com, and they just had an update 8 minutes ago of some gentleman named George Holmes calls for his tournament life with top pair. A few updates here. Sunday the 14th. They're a few hours behind us. Oh yeah, they're in it deep though. They are in it deep. Donnie, what vloggers have you been watching last week? Did you watch D-Negs? I did not. I watched Mariano's vlog. I still have to watch Rampage's vlog. It was for the tournament one. The only thing is when I catch the live stream or when I catch the social media updates about his tournaments and everything, I kind of already know what's going to happen, so I don't watch them. But I haven't seen D-Negs vlogs. How have those been? Got a raise. Blinds are 5 and 10,000. So the blinds are going up here slowly, and we're still six-handed.
Pretty soon you're forced to play 6-3.
Yeah.
It makes you do it.
I'll definitely have to tune in then. His dogs are cute, though. Definitely has cute dogs. Oh, Mark picks up 2 kings. And I think we all know what's going to happen next, guys. As soon as he burns those 3 cards, we're going to see an ace in that window. Oh, and I guess for the first time today, kings are actually going to outflop, well, any ace X holding. Top set for Mark. Running hearts, yeah, that's normally how it happens. They're normally never safe, you know, even flopping top set. We've got the king high flush draw for Paul and king high for Corey. Corey's going to go ahead and quickly fold this. Nothing too much, nothing to see here. Keep on moving.
Levels are up. That was my last hand, everyone. Lines are up. 6, 12, 12.
Welcome back.
Before somewhere.
We miss you too, Leonardo. We miss you too, buddy. Hopefully you're doing well, though.
Until the back, I got numbers. I feel like everybody's 6 and 12. Hey John, can you update the numbers? Update the numbers. 6. Okay. Hold it up. Yep,
Lines are up. And there's a raise there from Greg. He's been kind of quiet, been getting beat up to say the least, but he is still playing his game and trying to get there. Got a re-raise from Paul with 2 7s to 75,000. Greg here getting short. Blinds are going up. At this point, you're either playing for all of it or playing for nothing.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I would have gone with it.
Huh?
That was one I would have gone with.
Yeah, I kind of figured you would.
So it looks like Paul realizing blinds are going up, people are getting short, trying to use that big stack to his advantage like he knows how to.
With Ace King, Dickey has
the last time Dennis opened. Now, I don't think Dickey's going to give that same level of respect to Paul, meaning he knows Dickey's going to be a lot tighter, didn't want to 3-bet him.
70?
Yeah, so Dickey's going to open it up here.
Yeah, weird for Dickey to flat on the last Ace King that he had.
It was against Dennis. You know, maybe maybe Dennis is very tight.
No, I think it was against Paul.
Was it Paul?
I think it was against Paul. It was three ways, and the other Paul was in the hand.
Oh no, he played a hand with Dennis after King Queen versus Ace King. Dennis fought the Queen. He was like, I don't know why I didn't raise.
Like he always knows. Like he always knows. You got dirty one up front, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry
Like it
to
went
bear
the other
bad
way.
news.
I wish it was over here like
Right.
that.
Raise 30.
Yep, Paul's back to it. Stack's still rather large. What is the payouts? Yeah, here, I'll give you something here. I can give you some information. There you go. The next person out will receive $4,616.
Hate it. I have a lot like that, but
I just now
you
got to where I
express
can
such
fold
displeasure
aces
when you
pre-flop. You know?
Took you out?
He's got
It's
the-
taken me a
he's got
while to
that
fold
bulldog in
aces
him.
pre-flop against you guys, but I've learned, okay?
Nothing but bulldog. That's a good thing, sir.
Ooh. Yes, the buy-in was $2,000.
Raise it up. 26.
Oh, Dennis opening his range up just a tad bit. Look at Dennis. Yeah, the big jumps are coming. $2,000 jump between 6th and 5th place, so the big jumps are coming.
Fold 6. Fold 7. Fold 9.
Fold, 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 fold.
I had a good one, too.
Yeah, you, it doesn't matter what I do, you're snapping with that one.
King what?
King 10 spades.
Build one here in Texas. Yeah, I wish we could here too.
That
Wish
one
we
hurt,
could.
didn't it?
I heard you got quads already. What's going on?
What an easy game.
Yeah?
Get your money in.
Blind versus blind, looking at
Trying
cards.
to take that as an omen, you know,
What's
take
the, why do we? I raise, I don't get 3 bet for sure. If I limp, I'm getting raised. You know, it's like,
Like I did it.
Fold 6. Fold 7. Fold 8. Fold 1.
Corey gonna wake up with ace, jack, Paul, church of jack 9, blind versus blind, all in and call?
Wow.
Whoa. Well, Corey only had 95K. So Corey, good shape to double up here. Paul
hate to say it, but
has a live 9.
Needs a 9. Wow.
Finish him.
Wow, Jack 9.
How was your river?
Church of jack 9. It's
Yeah,
true.
I mean, tried and true, baby. But we will say goodbye to Corey, but there's really no reason to be sad. Corey's going to take home $4,616 for a very good finish. Not too bad there. Thanks for playing, Corey, and just a good hand. You know, he did all he could, played the best he could.
My man Paul's dangerous.
Yeah, Jack 9 just taking him down. Obviously, it's a church, and one of my disciples have made their way onto the final table.
yeah, amen.
Would you blast off heads up jack 9 in the major tournament?
No, no, I wouldn't. As much crap as I talk, the leader, as I self-proclaim, the leader of the Church of Jack 9, no.
How much would it take for you to make that move? 4 to 1 on chips?
That's your own money.
Thank you. Thank
Ooh,
you.
okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I might take that. Carmelita, relax. You need to relax.
Big
Yeah.
Easy, we had 66 entries in this 2K buy-in tournament.
Yeah.
That's cards, man.
That's just, but I just, you know what I mean? Like, he's totally caught me, and I hate that, you know?
Yes. Well, I mean, Sean, it's Jack 9, buddy. Come on now. You know where we're coming from. You know what's happening.
Yeah, you had me in
Dennis with the ace 9 suited.
We didn't have
Those hands are kind of pretty sitting 5-handed.
That's true.
Raise it up to 25.
Bumps it up to 20K. 25K, excuse me.
Yeah, Paul here building a rather large stack.
Ooh, 3-bet from Paul.
Yeah, it's about time. You know, like I said, blinds are going up. Paul has a big stack, can afford to make some mistakes, could even tango with the tight likes of Dennis.
Dennis, I think he wants to see a flop here, try to catch the clubs.
Look at Dennis having a good time. That old laugh, I love it.
Yeah. But Dennis is a patient guy. He could find a fold here. Although he is leading with ace high. Well, decides to
You'll see it.
find a different hand to play against Paul.
Mark that on my calendar.
Yeah, right? Set clock.
Nathan,
for 20 minutes.
first and second place. First is 20. First is a shade under 27. Second is a shade under 18,000.
Good hand, but I wasn't.
Shade over 18K.
Or shade over, right? A little shade over. Because I think they took money out of first and second to pay
Oh
the
yeah,
bubble.
yeah, that's right. You are correct.
Yeah, they took money out of
So they did a save for 10th place for 1,000 off of first, 500 off of second to pay 10th place money, 1,500. Greg gonna ship it with the ace jack, 157K to go. Oh, Dennis has got ace 6. Doesn't want to tangle there.
Oh, no.
Too expensive.
Next level I get steep.
It's normally something that's agreed upon with the players that are remaining. Johnny, if you want, you're more experienced in that and probably could explain that a little bit better. But
So we actually did have a payout of 9 places. So when they get down to hand-for-hand play at the bubble, they decided to, instead of playing hand-for-hand, to go ahead and do a save for that 10th place money, and then action resumed back normal.
Pictures on the back.
There you go.
I'll put another one over here.
yeah, Paul's going to use that big stack to his advantage, and I can tell you this much: of players at this table, he's probably the most dangerous to have a large stack.
You know that is a wanted poster, right?
Yeah, dude, tell me about it. The past 4 years. You know it's right. Absolutely.
Gold 7.
I think it goes more towards how the vibe of the players remaining are. You know, sometimes it's a local room, and everybody's are kind of, everybody plays together a lot, especially in tournaments.
I don't know if that's a two exact
They tend to do saves a lot. But for the bigger buy-ins, it's a little more rare.
All in. Oh, flush draw, but oh yeah, there's the nut flush. And that's going to be it for Greg. Greg's going to take home 5th place money. He's going to take home $6,080.
Plus another 4K in bounties.
How many?
4,000.
Yeah, and then 4,000 in bounties, so not too bad. And they all got their bounties back, too. So that's going to work. It's going to work out for him. And Paul's going to inhale some more chips.
Relying on me. Like regular.
giving you involved. I know you hate to fold, so you gotta.
That's right, he does hate the fold, and he knows
He
it.
was getting it on
With
today.
a passion.
I feel like we need to get the boys, the live stream boys together and play some poker. What do you think about that?
Yes, absolutely. I'm ready for it.
Professional.
I want to do it.
Yeah, I could throw a little poker night at the house with the boys.
I'm
Down?
cool with that. Yeah. I'll bring drink and food.
Yeah.
We can have a good time.
I got the cards, got the felt, got the chips. Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm ready.
Play a little deep 1-3 no limit.
What you know about that? I'm ready.
Deep in it.
That's how you gotta be. I mean, Paul has 814,000 in stack. Like, Jesus. 814,000 in stack. What's going on, Seth? Yeah, we miss you. Miss you too, buddy. We got 4 players remaining in the field. Paul here with a massive chip stack.
$30 raise. Fold 3. Fold 6. Fold another.
I was waiting for you that time.
Oh, yes. I'll see you down there. Yeah, I bet you will.
You know that hand when I got in against him, when I limped 3 back, I know you and Corey thought I had a monster, and he called it ace-9.
Yeah, yeah,
That was his own mistake there for sure.
yeah.
You got a big blind.
Yeah, and Dennis there did make the correct observation,
Yeah.
you know, using his image and the way he played the hand. It did look like he had a monster when he played ace-9, or rather king-queen versus Greg's ace-9.
30 raise, 30.
Good luck.
You look very sure. Fold 6. Fold 7. What's the hands up?
I'm gonna throw you some rope.
Check.
Yeah, let me give him some
Throw
rope.
you some rope.
They said throwing some rope. Uh-oh.
25.
Well, that flop did not lend it to me.
Well, I know you don't have that one, and I know you don't have that one.
That's good.
Might have had the deuce, but I didn't.
I would love that flop from next
It always comes when you don't
year.
have
You
it.
raise them.
This is true. What happened to Corey? Did he go bust? He did. And he went bust in a rather unfortunate way. Oh, wow. They finally get it.
You raise it a little bit.
They finally get it. Yeah, so Major had ace-jack in the big blind. Paul Petraglia had jack-9. Major raised all in. Paul called, and on the river caught the 9. So for Corey Major's tournament life there, he just got very, very unfortunate.
Very painful.
Yeah, that he hates to ship chips over to Paul, but he had queen 4. So Paul's going to chip up a little bit more. Every little bit is just going to hurt the rest of the table, because Paul is close to now 1 million in chips.
But you didn't show close.
Nothing to show.
Walker.
Fold 7. Fold 9.
I'm scared of this stack right here.
No.
I'll show you how I don't care about losing. Right?
Okay.
I'll show you.
All in.
I fold.
That was great. That was great.
You really are. You're living up to your reputation of being
I
full
almost
of
wish they would mic us up sometimes, just for the,
They can definitely do that.
oh my gosh, that's
He
great.
puts you to the test right there, didn't he?
He did, boy. I'll tell you what. I got to get my nitroglycerin samples out now.
He puts you to the test right there. Oh, God. Yeah.
Indeed, it is all my fault. But I'm gathering so many followers and disciples, Sean. So is it really such a bad thing?
40 raised to 40,000.
Paul looks down at ace-9 on the button with 909,000 in stack. And is poised here to make, well, I think a deep run is an understatement. This man could win it all. I think it's I think I might have my pick now.
Fold 6, fold 7. That's some heads up action.
It is, exactly, Eric. And that's kind of why he's going to be my pick. I mean, it's easy to see it. But it's going to take a lot of run good and a lot of max pain to I guess, knock Paul down off this high horse that he's on. I mean, he is running well.
50,000. All in.
Yeah, and Paul's all in, and Dennis just has an open ender.
Raise 35.
I'm Paul here with pocket nines for 35,000. Is going to put that in the middle, hoping to get a fold. And I guess, I mean, how many more chips can you get if you're Paul?
Fold 6. Fold 7. Fold it up.
Carl, I hope they don't plan on blinding out, but
Times in the past 15 minutes.
he's if you look over at that stack of Paul, well, the stack that he has in front of him and how good he's running, I don't think they want to give him any opposition just yet. You just hope the run good runs out, and then maybe you can play some hands.
Senior right over there. Top guy on the football team.
You got big blind spot.
Sorry about that.
You sure making us look bad?
Yeah.
It's easy
Get a
when the cards
raising
come.
hand
When the
and he's got
cards come, it's easy,
something
right?
to push me off.
We all know when the cards come, it's easy.
Fold 6, all in, seat 7.
No, I'll let him try it.
Fold a 9.
170?
That was gonna be my plan. You didn't do it. I had one of those.
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Yeah, I was shoving if you did. I had an ace problem. Gonna make him wake up with a hand.
All right, so four-way action at this final table of the Haymaker of our knockout series. 2K was the buy-in. $500 bounties up top, shy of $26,000. Next player out will receive $8,378.
Raise it up, 31. Call 31?
Yes, sir.
So both players going to pair their 9. Dickey in the lead with that queen high, but Paul's in the lead out with a bet of 45,000. And Dickey's going to sniff it out and makes the call. Queen on the turn, 2 pair for Dickey. Paul now drawing dead. Oh, and Paul has gone all in. Dickey.
Can he win? No, he's drawing dead, right?
He's drawing dead, but Dickey,
I do know that too.
2 pair, queens and 9s. This is for Dickey's entire tournament life, so we might find a fold here. Great move from Paul. There's a lot of other hands other than queen nine that can beat you, so tough spot for Dickey, although he does have the best hand. Sick bluff from Paul. And it does make sense. Pre-flop, Paul did raise to 31,000. Paul bet the flop, all in turn. You can have ace queen here. You can have pocket 7s, pocket 9s.
He just showed 9s the last hand, too.
You ain't got them 9s again.
Whoa.
See?
You could have ace 9 also.
That's what he said.
And ace 7. You can have all the 2 pairs. I don't think he's going to call. ICM here, so Dickey has 179. Well, he does make the call.
Gee, nice hand, bud.
He did have a 9.
Nice.
Yep, and it's going to be a win there for Dickey. Dickey's going to chip up big time.
That's tough.
Paul's going to take somewhat of a blow, but he had so much that he was able to make a mistake there. He's able to take a blow to his stack, and he still be out in front.
I feel like if Paul had waited for the turn, waited for the river, that could have got Dickey off his 2 pair.
Definitely could have.
But yeah, on the turn there, middle 2, he's just got to make that call there for some chips.
Nice hand, Dick.
Thank you.
I do like that ship from Paul, though.
Yeah, the ship there put the pressure on him and use that big stack to try to get him to fold. Very, very nice.
Long, big piece. Raise 25.
Ooh, Dennis with pocket jacks in the under the gun position. Opens to 25K. Paul with ace 5. Paul's looking dangerous.
Call.
Paul's looking like he wants to, well, do just that, make the call. And other than that hand there against Dickey, Paul's been running pretty good. He's going to need to find an ace here if he wants to crack Dennis and send him home. No ace there on the flop.
All in.
Oh, if you can get snapped, that's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
It is a good sign. Would you call that a game free?
I don't know, let me see.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't talking to you.
I wasn't looking, sir. I didn't know if you were
All right,
talking
guys.
to me or
Blinds are
not.
gonna be up. It's gonna be 10:15. You guys got
You're
20 seconds back
listening,
in.
though.
Thanks, everybody.
You can believe
Look,
that.
guys.
He's listening.
Yeah, you don't
15
listen.
and 15.
15. I'm glad they keep going up. If you had the queen, I would have just known it wasn't my day.
I didn't put you on a queen, but maybe like a 7s or 8s or something. Jacks? Nice.
Hey Kirk, take 2,000 off of Marks and put it on Dennis. I didn't change the game, I changed the blinds. But I changed them all now. And I got everyone's stacks from remembering all that. So. What? Okay. I'll speak up.
40.
Raise 40 from 4.
Dickey here looking at that raise from Paul with 7-5 of diamonds.
Raise 85 from 6.
Is going to bump it up and 3-bet with 7-5 suited. Wow. Yeah, they're having a good time. All these guys play with each other an exponential amount.
Yeah, don't lose track of that guy. He's important.
He's wandering out there in the street.
He's important.
Yeah, and Dickey knows that's not a good flop for him. He's never going to be ahead in this case. So flop is always going to hit Paul.
Checks.
This hand is every bit but over.
75 from 3. Fold 7.
I feel guilty with those chips, so I'm looking them back.
I understand. I totally understand. And it's much appreciated.
15 and 15, Paul.
Yeah, bro.
Fold 6. Fold 7.
Come over.
All in from 9. Call from 3.
Oh, and Dennis's tournament life he's on the line here. Four-handed, you can't wait for those big hands. You just kind of got to try to get your chips in. And so Dennis is going to do just that and be, outflop big here. Oh, he picks up the king-high flush draw.
Well,
and it's no good. And Dennis is going to be eliminated in fourth place. He's going to be taking home $8,378. Dennis loves it. Look at him. He's had the time of his life. He's going to grab his jacket and head over to get his payout. Thank you for playing, Dennis. We enjoyed you, buddy.
Is that what you said, right?
Yeah, I did, didn't
But I said no, so now you can say no.
All right, blinds, 10, 15, 15.
Really need one.
I think you got it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Call from 6.
Oh, and whoa. Instantly, we lose Dennis, and now Mark's tournament life is on the line. And he needs a jack to have a chance, and I don't see it. Yeah, this is over. And just like that, Mark's out in third place, and we're now heads up. We lose 2 people in 2 hands. We're heads up now. Mark is going to take home third place money, which is $12,055. And we are now heads up for the money.
All right, guys, we are going to take a short break. I think it goes about 8 minutes until we all come back, so just hang with us. We're going to play some tunes for you all, and we'll resume heads-up play for the Haymaker champion, shy of 26,000. Let's go. Stay tuned, and come hang out. All right, guys, looks like we're close to back to action now. So they did make a deal for the remaining prize pool. So they decided to guarantee 20K, and they're going to be playing for roughly, I have that number here, 3,700. So there's $43,708 left in the prize pool. They're all going to take 20 apiece.
Okay, so they're both taking 20K, and they're playing for the
3,708.
All right. Good luck, bro. Thank you.
They're about close in chips, aren't they?
Let's see. Chip counts.
Oh. No.
He's got
1 point.
Paul's got him 2-1.
Yeah, Paul's got him about 2-1, actually. So that's pretty good. 20K apiece.
So we have the 2017 World Poker Tour Best Bet Bounty Champion against the runner-up. Let me find that year. Hold on.
That was 2018.
No, I think it was before because it was our last televised event that Dickey took second in against Sam Panzica. And I want to say it's 2016 or 2015. Let's see where it is. I want to say it's 16.
It was 4 picks to
Yeah, so no, it was 2016. So Dickey took down $237,000, taking second place in the 2016 WPT Bounty Scramble, and that was our last televised event.
Before I make this call, I want to say hello to the boys back in Macon, Georgia. Okay.
Hello to the boys back in Macon, Georgia. Your man Dickey's talking to y'all. So if you're from Macon, Georgia, if you're in the building watching stand up, that's for Dickey, to you guys.
Yeah, if you're in the chat, give a shout out to your boy Dickey, making a run against the World Poker Tour champion.
Going to fold it there. Paul, Jack 9 is going to take that down.
Yeah, I think with Paul's play, he's going to lean. He's going to use his chip stack against Dickey. Let's hope Dickey doesn't play too passively, though. You're going to have to make a lot of limps with wide ranges, playing heads up, so. But Dickey is going to elect to muck the 10-5. Yeah, heads up play, you can't just really wait on premium hands, otherwise you get you get blinded out. You do want to stop the aggression by 3-betting 4-betting Paul. Otherwise, he'll just lean against you and just take it away. So this is a limping hand, so Paul is definitely going to be raising the king-queen.
Raise 35.
Dickey should definitely take a flop here.
Call 7.
Gut shot, straight draw for Dickey. 2 overs for Paul. Paul in the lead with the king high. Dickey's going to check. I think Paul should bet here. I think Dickey should try to peel one more to see if he can get that straight or backdoor into clubs. Does decides to take the raise. Min click.
Wow, I'm okay with that. Definitely got to take.
Wow, there you go, Dickie.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's how you play heads up.
Pretty mundane flop for both players. Queen on the turn for so Dickie's gonna need that ace.
Paul back up to north of 1,000,000 chips.
Game, brother.
There's Dickie there just putting it in with King Trey. Heads up play is such an intricate game. It's more or less not about your holding, but about, well, the heart you have, because heads up it's a different kind of game. They have agreed to take 20K apiece. They're playing for 3,700, I believe. So the 20K is still 20K is locked up for each player. So both players are going to be guaranteed $20,000, and they're going to be playing for 3,700. So a little $3,700 heads-up match.
That was a close one.
Yeah.
That was a close one. That one could have gone either way.
Church of Jack 9. Raise it up.
I hope so. I mean, if Dickey's really doing it for Macon, because, see, I'm a Georgia boy myself. So if he's really out here doing it for Macon, I need to see a raise here.
You just say all in? Oh, no. Hearing things.
So he's going to make the call here for 40,000. Oh, he does pick up some outs, though. Any 8, he's good to go. Board is double paired.
I think Paul has showdown value here.
That's an overbet, man. That's an overbet right there. You do not want this call. You do not call. You don't want this call.
He's letting him know.
I'm just praying you ain't got a 10.
I think he's working him.
God, that boy's so good. He is so good.
When I look back, you're weak. When I look back, my cards out.
No, I guess he was telling me, hey, I don't want this call. You don't want this call. But he did indeed lay it down. Tried to put some fear into Paul, but Paul had bet what he could.
Paul's a pilot. He has no fear.
No. This man, kidding me? This man,
He flies through the skies for a living.
the unknown. He knows what he's doing. That's a catch, man. That's a catch. That's big time. Ugh.
I enjoy playing that call.
I know, bro.
I know they're having a great time. That's the best part about it is there is no animosity. They're having a wonderful time. They're enjoying themselves, and it's fun.
Yeah, for a local poker room and to have 2 World Poker Tour final table players to be now heads up at the Best Bet Jack's Haymaker goes to show you what kind of champions we make here out in Best Bet.
Yeah, Paul is the real Top Gun.
Yeah, I do need to make some theme music for Paul.
Definitely. They challenged it. That's a catch, baby. That's a catch. Oh my God, yes. I can't believe that he's betting this river, but he is going to be doing just that. I mean, you can't get the showdown with 7 high, but it is heads up, and look at Paul. Paul's like, all right, let's just quit playing games, and puts Dickey all in there with a pair of jacks. He did improve there. Deuce. His deuce was counterfeit. He was playing the 2 pair kings and jacks.
Chips are definitely leaning towards Paul's stack now, and Dickey's got a little less than 250K. Blinds are coming up soon. Dickey just needs to move all in here. I think Paul just needs to call off queen high. This could end it right here in this hand. And Dickey has moved all in. Paul, I think, does make the call.
Uh-oh. So Dickey's tournament life is on the line here. They're playing for about $3,700. And that flop is pretty good. The turn is okay. The river's above average. So Dickey's going to double up.
That's a close one. Yeah, I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's like it's still a 60-40 against an ace high. I'm like, yeah.
You could, I mean, you had to. I mean, really. Yeah.
Wow.
I just gave all those chips back there from that one pop. And then some, with interest. With interest.
We've been sharing them that goal.
So back to square one at this final table from the start of the heads-up play, actually. Dickey going to wake up with the ace-jack, and Paul behind Jack Deuce and Diamond is going to make the race to 40K. Dickey needs to 3-bet here. Does indeed raise to 90K. Paul, I think, will take a flop. think Dickey needs to shut it down here and just move all in. Bets 100,000. Gets called a fold.
Yep, that's it. That's it, Dickey, one more time. Yeah, Dickey's gonna have to double up one more time, and then it'll be a little close.
It don't feel like the same tournament we just played yesterday, does it?
I know. Very different experience.
Okay with that. Now,
The difference between doing this and
ball,
Oh, yeah.
other games.
back. Oh, Dickey with kings here, heads up. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dickey needs to like these premium holdings. You definitely need to play it a little bit slower, especially you want to get max value of all these hands. So I think Dickey can actually limp here for you guys, or just raise a little bit.
All right, y'all.
Doesn't get Paul to bite.
2020. Kirk's come back in for the next one. Thank you all.
Appreciate you.
You too. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Richard. Enjoy it. Good deal. Appreciate you. 20, huh? 10, 20, 20. We're back to normal.
10, 20, and 20 are going to be the blinds. Blinds are moving up just a little bit. You got some heads-up action here. This is the final table of our Knockout Series Haymaker event, $2,000 buy-in. We had 66 total entrants. We are down to our final 2. We did have 8 to start, and Dickey, Malone, and Paul Petraglia are our final 2. They have agreed to chop, and each player is going to be guaranteed $20,000. They are playing it out for the remaining $3,700. Wonderful finish for both players, and for really all 8 players. They all played their hearts out. They all did the best they could, and they all took home a decent payout. So for all 8 players on this table today, best bet. Thanks you for playing and being on the table. Got some gutter action for Dickey and Paul. Well, just 4 high, nothing much there going on.
Check. Check.
Oh, he drills it.
Boom, straight.
Check. That's 40.
Paul, though, with 4 high and a prayer. What's up, fellas? Trevor here saying hi from Houston. Doing well out here. Found a job working tonight at 8 o'clock. Hope all is well with you back in Jacksonville. Everything's doing great, man. Thanks for checking in with us, Trevor. I'm glad you're doing well, buddy.
85 raise, 85,000.
Oh, and he's giving him that look. Put the game away. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's just a beautiful thing. Put the game away right now. Oh, look at Johnny coming out saying going to race off the orange chips.
Paul wins the race off.
So they raced off the chips. Now the 1,000 chips are out of play, and they're back into the action. 10,000, 20,000.
Yo, how do you make your face not fat on camera?
How do you make your what?
How do you make your face not fat on camera?
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
You know, when you take pictures, when you take selfies, somehow you can find the perfect angle, but no one you know can. Just, he didn't have aces. He lied to you, Dickey. But they're drinking and having a good time, so it's all good.
Radar's working, sir.
Yeah, you don't know what you folded me about 3 hands ago.
Full house?
No.
Oh, that.
Pre-flop.
Oh.
I had kings.
Did you really?
You didn't give me nothing. I don't appreciate that.
And Dickie's letting him know, hey man, I opened with kings heads up. How rare is that? And you give me no action, buddy.
Raise 55.
Let's go, Dickie Malone. Yeah, Dickie's in it, man. Dickie's doing well. He's doing great for himself.
Raise 55,000.
Oh, both players connect. Dickie's hand is just huge here. King, queen with the king high flush draw. Top pair, just all over this flop. Heads up. Shouts out to Shirley. We're on Shirley. So the turn is an ace. And they call the river a 4.
Queen.
Queen's good.
And for the first time, Dickie has claimed the chip lead from Paul. These are starting to even out now.
Makes all sense now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm like, it's busted. It could be busted clubs, but it made very much sense. You could have the ace of clubs or big clubs in the end. So, but I got a hand. I got to pay it off. Nice hand, bud. Thank you.
Is that Cowboy Bebop?
What's up, brother?
Almost.
Not yet, no.
Almost. They've been giving us little nugs here and there, but it's almost there. I can't wait. I watched, which you need to give a peek if you can, this Netflix original film, Red Notice, with Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
I watched that last night. It's about 2 hours, and it's just a real fun watch. It's real fun.
Definitely gotta check that out. You said Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix. It's a Netflix original film.
Nice.
They did all the production. They, everything was out of their pockets, and it was just great. It was pretty good.
Thank you.
Ryan Reynolds, his level of humor, he has like this niche kind of humor that only he has. That is just gonna be funny for a long time. Like, he's just so funny. I love his humor as Deadpool, as Weapon X in Wolverine, and as what is it? He's a hitman's bodyguard, and he is in this film, and it's just all over hilarious.
Raise 50,000.
Yeah, big W for the Vikings. I know I'm watching. Trust me, I'm watching. I mean, I'm happy, but if you want to be the woulda, shoulda, coulda kind of guy, there are plenty of wins we should have gotten all the way up to week 8, week 9. But hey, we're 4-5, and we're in the hunt for the wild card.
Raise 50,000.
I guess somebody really needs some cocktails.
You know what? I need a cocktail.
For sure.
50? Raise 50. Check. Check. Check.
Queen on the flop for Paul, and a dream for Dickie.
$125 raise.
Keep catching it, man.
I know it. I think it's my job.
Paul reclaims the chip lead now. Jack 6 versus deuces.
Yeah, and this chip lead might go back and forth. Hello, Frogman.
65? Raise 65.
That felt like a big one, I don't know why.
Call. Check. Heads up. Check. Check, check.
Flush draw
55.
for Paul, king high for Dickie. And they're still dedicated here. They are definitely playing their best game here, heads up. even if it is for only a small amount compared to what they're going to be netting, I don't think either of them is going to be willing to give away what they're playing for.
160.
I haven't eaten. Very tight heads-up match. They need to loosen their range. I mean, yeah, a little bit. I'd have to agree with you there. That's up to a flop. Both players are going to connect. Dickey here, as though, is going to have an overwhelming lead in terms of equity. Got the straight draw and the pair of fives.
20.
Like to see a raise here from Dickey. No need to play any games or play it coy. Just want to get my chips in the middle. I want to play.
65 raise.
Felt like an open ender. I don't know. That's what it felt like. I don't have enough to defend again.
I had that empire.
Did you? I was crushed and I had a 3.
Had top pair.
Yeah. So I mean, any pair you have is definitely.
Dickey never discloses his correct hand ever.
No, he doesn't. At this point, why should I give you that information?
Yeah. Had a 6. No, I had Jack high.
$45,000.
45 raise.
It's not. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
No worries. Heads up. Check. $50. Bet a 50.
Da, 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 da,
Check. Check. Check.
60,000.
60,000. Then a call.
Got nines.
Go.
Alright, Dickey taking more of a lead now. Got paid off pocket 9s.
9's coming back to haunt me.
Nines are coming back to haunt him. He did pick up 9s. I think Paul picked up 9s like 6 times in the first 45 minutes to an hour of play. That's it right there.
Raise to 50.
And a call.
Check. Check. Got a 50. Call. Option. Check. Heads up. Check. Check.
Hmm.
50. Give me the answer. Raise 40. Check. 5-5. Check. Check. No, I wasn't sure.
You said how many how many bounties did these two players get? I think Dickey had 5, and I think Paul had 4. I think so. In terms of bounties, I'm pretty sure Paul had 7 bounties. That's right, Paul had 7, and Greg Goder, who came in as a chip leader, I think he was eliminated 4th place. He had 8. I think Dickey had like 3 or 4. Each bounty was worth $500. That was the one fun part of the tournament. It was a $2,000 buy-in with $500 bounties.
Oh, that's mine, right? Fours and deuces.
He's a 3.
Yeah, but I got fours. Fours and deuces. With a jack. It's a chop.
What? He has a 3. He has a 3.
I got three though.
You have a
I got
deuce.
three.
Oh, fours and threes. I'm so sorry. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. No. I totally messed up on that one.
No worries.
Totally messed up on that.
No worries.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, I know what you're talking about. It's easy to
It's
do.
only been hours and hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, what? Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Because the first card over, I saw the
Absolutely,
deuce,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, okay.
No chop.
10 or 20.
You're 10. Hold 10. It's been a long run.
Yeah.
$55 raise. Holland? Holland.
Just some casual heads-up play. These guys here battling it out. I'm pretty sure eventually, probably in the next few hands, they'll just go ahead and get all the chips in here.
It's like you don't even get to enjoy the chips when the blinds are like, you know, like you're in the blind every hand. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you pick up the blinds, you're like, so what? I'm putting them right back out.
That's right. Ton of them too.
Yeah, right?
Raise. Check. Call. Call.
Bet of 80,000. Dickey says I call. Shows off the 10, and he's going to take down another pot. So Dickey is building a large chip lead over Paul here. And I think once Paul gets short enough, or maybe even now, he might just ship it in.
Big run. Raise 50. Todd and JT, you guys go. Lines are up 15, 25, 24.
Glad all y'all can make it out here today for this momentous occasion we got going on.
Frank Petraglia is watching too. Your cousin, man, has made it all the way down to the final table. So pretty sure you're proud. Pretty sure the family's proud. He outlasted the other 6 players, and he's playing for, well, he's playing for peanuts compared to what he's already guaranteed. They did go ahead and chop it up. He is guaranteed $20,000. So is Dickie Malone. So they're playing it out here for about $3,800. And right now, looks like Dickie might be taking that home. But you can't be too upset. I mean, if you're Paul, you're still taking home a guaranteed $20,000.
Yeah, this is a gentleman's game, and now they're playing for a gentleman's payout.
And the heads-up battle continues. But Dickie is knocking at the door here. He has picked up, like I said, the overwhelming chip lead. So eventually, Paul gets short enough. Eventually, it'll be an all-in and a call, and they'll be playing for tournament life. Or rather, I guess, gentleman's game life, if that's a thing.
You can fold every once in a while, you know.
Wow, Dickie's in a pair of 6. Paul kind of in the trap with ace-king.
Does make the call and does have a 6, and would you look at that? Yep. Ace king doesn't get it through.
Like whenever I get a big hand, it's like not even coming in. Like the shitty ones are even worse.
I think Paul should have sized big enough to pretty much commit himself there.
We're doing everything right.
I think Dickie might have folded pre. Especially with the ace-king holding.
You gotta have that here.
Especially heads up. It's like you can't fold, you know?
These guys are playing a lot of post flop play.
Yeah, we probably won't see too much more post flop play. You can tell Paul's a little annoyed. He's like, hey man, all my big hands, I can't, nothing's coming on the flop for me. Like, I've made it this far. I haven't run well, but it's like the air has gotten sucked out of him here late in this this heads up match.
Yeah. Both players pair. This could be it. If Paul puts any chips in this pot,
it's going to be over for him.
It's going to be over. It's to be pot committed at this point. All Dickie needs to do is shove it all in or smooth call, and the tournament is his. And that pulls the all-in button. All in and a call, and
So
looks like this is going to be it.
Unless he can catch a 7, it's going to be all over. And that's it. So Dickie is going to be our champion. He's going to take home that gentleman's game agreement of $3,800. As you can see there, they're good friends. They had a great time playing there. But for Macon, Georgia, you guys got one. Dickie Malone's going to be our Knockout Series Haymaker $2,000 No Limit Hold'em champion. And he's going to take home that trophy and pose for some pictures. As for me and Johnny, that's going to do it for tonight. You guys have your champion, and we'll be back on Wednesday. Have a good night, guys.
King, queen, it was king of spades, jack of clubs was the winner.
They win them all.
Board was like king, queen, deuce, 8, ace.
Still some.